the Never Summer Mountains, headwaters of the mighty Colorado River. Fueled by snowmelt from the Rockies, the river and its tributaries grow with each confluence and pump life into the harsh Mojave and Sonoran deserts. Along its nearly 1,500-mile journey, the Colorado connects the Rocky Mountains to the Gulf of California and nurtures landscapes that are bursting with wildlife. Force in this unforgiving landscape. It is the most essential and precious resource that has supported humanity for over 1,000 generations. This story follows the Colorado on its journey to sustain society and the natural world, and is a call to action to conserve the wildlife and wild places in the American Southwest.
Boom, there you go. That was a trailer for the American Southwest, arriving on October 10th on digital, Prime Video, Apple TV Plus. Go check out all the streaming digital platforms. Cop this documentary. You're going to want to check it out. If you love nature, if you love animals, if you want to see how it is important that the earth, that we protect the earth, you're going to love it. It hits home for everybody. I'm Kuya P. This is Nerds Rule the World. Joining me to talk all things the American Southwest, I have writer, director, Ben Masters. How are you, Ben?
Dude, I love the energy. This is exactly what I needed this afternoon. Glad you love the movie.
I did. I live in the Washington, D.C. area, Ben. So I'm very in tuned to the world and what's going on. And I love animals. I've got 3 dogs of my own. And I want to protect this earth because it's the only one we have. We need to take care of this rock. So my children and my daughters, my grandchildren, everybody, we can still be here and exist. And I think work like this is so fundamental, so needed. So thank you for creating awareness and giving life to a cause that I think should be the focus of all of ours here on this rock, Ben. So thank you.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you saying that. That's been an amazing 3 years putting this film together, and we've gotten to see some really cool stuff. And yeah, just traveling down the whole length of the Colorado River and just kind of seeing it go from these massive mountains where it's just an infinite amount of water to where you follow the river down and literally every single drop of the Colorado River gets sucked dry. It's just like, man, what are we doing? Like, is there not a better way to manage the river than to just entirely use every drop? And I feel you. Got to leave it better for our kids. And I've got a 5-year-old too. And that's what we're trying to do with this movie is let's get people inspired to engage in more wildlife conservation. Let's leave some water for the river and stop making mistakes of the past.
Completely agree. All right, sir. So when you decided to make this film, I know you did an amazing doc with one of my favorite Texans, Matthew McConaughey. But when this came across your desk, and you chose, well, I think this really didn't come from somebody else. You decided to do it. I think it came from working with Matthew and just living out there, right? What was your why? And then how did we get going to put together the American Southwest?
So my entry into film was a little bit unusual. I was a horse trainer for about a decade of my life, and I had the rather interesting idea to ride a horse from Mexico to Canada twice. So I've actually ridden through New Mexico and Colorado, Utah, and Arizona. So I know the Southwest, better than most, not as well as some. And I love it. I absolutely love our public lands. I love the wildlife. I love the landscape, the sunsets, the never-ending skies, how you can just look through billions of years with the rock layers. It's just so cool out there. And I've always wanted to give back. And we've spent the last 3 years pouring all of our love and energy and brain width into creating a documentary that really encapsulates, the sounds and the visuals and the animals of the Southwest. And I think it also has a little bit of a spiritual sense as well. Like, we feel obligated as a film team. Like, we need to do a better job of, conserving and protecting this area than what we're doing right now. And I think that really comes through in the film. And Quannah Chasinghorse, the narrator, man, she did such a good job on the narration. It's so good and just really elevated the film right there at the end. It's great. I'm really proud of this movie.
You should be, and it's so important. I love that. Shout out to Quannah, shout out to the entire team, because as we both know, as filmmakers, it takes a village, not just one person.
Yeah.
While we might be out here talking and promoting, like we're putting the lead cast or something like that, or just a couple of folks, it's an entire team. So shout out to everybody involved with the American Southwest over there, Ben. They get mad respect from me. Okay, so I gotta ask. I've talked to a lot of Nat Geo people before, and other people that do documentary work. Again, I live in the DC area. There's a responsibility that comes with doing documentary work, and so that's why I've stayed in narrative film work for me personally, because of just that responsibility and getting the story right, and just in regards specifically in Nat Geo. And this is where my real question is you're directing this. It's easy to direct people on a set, but how do we do an environmental documentary? You can't direct animals, so how does one do a documentary like this where you can't control all these things? We're setting up cameras, I know, but you're creating your shot list. You started, like, as you said, you rode horses. How do you go from riding horses into then, okay, I want to create a documentary and give the stories of these animals, but then, obviously we're going to shoot everything. The film will come up in the editing room in post. I'm curious how one does work like this, because it just seems like a nightmare for a filmmaker like me.
I mean, to be honest, the nice thing about film is like the greatest filmmakers' secrets are on full display. You just watch their movie. It's like, oh, well, how long were your cues? How many scenes did you have? How fast was your pacing? How long were your shots? Like, you just watch it and it's like, oh, all right, well, that's what the best in the world are doing. I think I'll, do what they're doing and then kind of make it my own. So we got into blue chip natural history filmmaking, which is like the genre of film that this is in, really by watching a lot of movies like Planet Earth, Our Planet, and then kind of taking what we liked and then adapting it and doing it our own way. And with this film, that meant really partnering with Native Outdoors and like weaving in an indigenous storyline into the film to kind of take a 30,000 foot perspective of wildlife and land management in the Southwest. But pretty much the story follows two main storylines. One is the journey of the Colorado River from its headwaters in Rocky Mountain National Park all the way down its 1,500 miles to the Gulf of California, and kind of nourishing all these different ecosystems along the way, as well as our economy and the 40 million people that live there. And then the second storyline is, less definitive and concrete than the first. It's our evolving relationship with the natural world. That's really told beginning with colonization, where the first sequence, we see elk, one of our primary species, get totally wiped out. And then there was this, conservation ethic that swept through the country in the early 1900s that was like, hey, no, we should have wildlife because it's cool and we want to live there with them. And then it kind of started this big rewilding effort that we're continuing to live in to today, where, elk have come back, deer, turkeys, wolves, grizzly bears, they're like on their way coming back. There's still a lot of work to be done whenever it comes to rewilding. But that's one of the really amazing things about the United States is we have a lot of success stories whenever it comes to conservation, especially within the Southwest. The massive amounts of public lands, the massive amounts of wilderness areas. We've done better there than we have in a lot of the world. But one of the places where we've really not done a good job at is managing our rivers for river health. And that's really the heart and soul of this movie, where we see water policy go from its first drop high in the mountains all the way to its last drop, where the river is so dammed, diverted, and canaled and channelized and used for agriculture that, this river that feeds a quarter of the country is entirely consumed and dies. And that's so sad. And it's not okay. Like, that's the thing that blows my mind is, for almost a human lifetime, it's been okay for the river to be dead. And I just think that needs to change, man. Like, the river should have water in it. A dedicated amount should be there for the river. We can't just consume everything on the planet. We need to conserve it. And we're going to be the winners if we do that. We're going to have, forests, and we're going to have rivers to go fishing in and to go float in and to go enjoy life in and be able to share the planet with all these other incredible critters that we call home. So, the film that oozes with conservation as well as some advocacy. And it's just freaking beautiful, man. It was so much fun to film.
I completely agree. I love that. And I hope that again, like you said, this is a call that, for this area, but there's so many other areas. The way our environmental policy is changing rapidly, that there should be a wake-up call for every other area on this earth, that we need to think about these things and do better now, or else we won't have it. So yeah, I love that. So I guess I want to bring back my question again in a way, Ben, is that I love that this is what this film is. But did you know that going in? Again, because I know as filmmakers, a lot of our films, at the onset, we want to tell this story, but then it changes because of what we're able to get and not get. And then we find the through line in post. So did you have okay, I wanted to talk about the Colorado River. I want to talk about these animals that inhabit it and how they're affected. So did you know all that coming in, and you formulated your shots, or you figured out what you wanted to get, or did it change along the way? And or what didn't make it into the American Southwest that you would have liked to help again tell that? I'm sure it would have probably been another hour or so, of stories that you probably would have wanted to do. But yeah, I guess that's some of the other layers of the question, Ben.
So the final film is actually pretty true to the original vision. We got our storylines of, we're going to tell a story of our changing, our evolving relationship with the natural world. And then we're going to journey the river, and then we're going to find different wildlife species and behaviors that symbolize something more than just a beautiful animal doing something cool in an interesting place. And we identified different animals, elk, condors, beavers, cutthroat trout, salmon flies, Mojave rattlesnakes, saguaro cactus, jaguars. They all symbolize something that wound itself into the overall narrative of, water use and river flow, and then our relationship with nature. Obviously, things changed in the writing. We could have never scripted that the condor would fall 300 feet off of a cliff and nearly die. That kind of stuff was just crazy, circumstances. Oh my God, that just happened. We were planning to film it take its first flight, not a plummet to its death or near death. So yeah, we would shoot the sequences and then we would analyze the footage and then we would rewrite them all. But the actual structure of the film was pretty true to the original vision, which was good. I mean,
Oh
it's
yeah.
nice to have a plan. It actually works out.
Hell yeah, man. Love it for you. That's again why will never be a documentarian. Just the responsibility, the work involved, the hours of editing and footage. I give you all the props, Ben. Like,
Oh, dude, it's the
amazing.
best. It's like we show up on set and it's like, all right, we're going to be here at this beaver dam for the next 25 days, hanging out with our friends and
And
looking
I'm
at a
jealous about
pond.
that. So yeah, that's gotta be amazing. So can you tell me about just some of the things you really enjoyed filming? Because that was awesome and hilarious. I just again loved how we were watching this beaver and again the responsibility of the overall in regards to talking about the Colorado River and what the beaver does that kind of affects that in certain ways, right? The condor and falling down. I was like, what were some of the amazing shots or stories that you got along the way of making the American Southwest
I mean,
that stand out?
there's like all of them have their moments. Like the elk fight is so bonkers. Like the cutthroat trout spawning, like, I was like really intimate, nice. The salmon fly metamorphosis, like, wait, you're telling me those bugs do what? Like there was a lot of times filming in this where it was like, oh my God, that's what it looks like. Like we're getting to see this. So, but I think hands down the jaguar footage, like jaguars, they've roamed Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas for all of time. And that's only really been the last few decades that they've been extirpated and not there. And I think they should come back. Like we should at least, leave some passageways in the border open for them to return. But going and getting some of the first ever Borderlands jaguar footage and seeing that cat that is just the symbol of godlike power and beauty of the Americas was something that was all time career high right there, was seeing that first Jaguar footage come in.
Amazing. Yeah, just some brilliant shots and thank you and stories that we get to follow these creatures along the way, and then also the ecological story that we want to tell, and then also the indigenous stuff. I really appreciated that that you put all of those elements in there and weaved it about just how it's just a worldly responsibility. When people check out the American Southwest, Ben, I know you've kind of already said it before, but what do you hope people really take away and what can they do now? I guess maybe that is the immediate call to action, if you will, that once they check out the American Southwest, what do you hope that they do with their family, friends after seeing this film?
Go to our website, hit the take action page. There's a letter right there that goes to all the different 7 states, their representatives, plus to folks at the Department of the Interior. And it says, your name, want to see the Colorado River management changed. There should be water that's dedicated for river health. There should be water that is dedicated to flow to the sea. We should be managing our reservoirs in a manner that more naturally mimics the natural world. We should be, supporting nature-based solutions like healthy forests, healthy wetlands, more water efficient agriculture. So it has a variety of different things that we can do in order to have the Colorado River managed better. And that's really the great thing, is like we don't have a shortage of water in the Southwest as much as there is an opportunity to manage it better. And that's exciting because I want the future to be, full of healthy rivers that have nice, beautiful cottonwood forests and stuff alongside it. So we're really hoping that the film can make a big impact, and I think that it already has, and I think that it will with time. It opened in like 75 theaters and has gotten a lot of people's attention on how we should manage the river better. In 2026, next year, the Colorado River is being entirely renegotiated by the different states. So the timing of its impact is perfect. And we're really trying to encourage the states and the Department of the Interior, like, hey, just because this is the way it's been done in the past, we don't need to do that in the future. Like the river should have water in it. We should be managing it for river health, not just, for the bottom line.
Definitely agree. Please, listen to my man Ben, y'all. Call to action right now after you see this. Enjoy the beauty and the majesty that is our world, that is our earth, and the responsibility that we all have to take care of it. Just a great documentary, Ben, and well done. Thank you for this work. As a filmmaker, I've always love that, and why I want to get into filmmaking is to entertain as well as educate, and I think you're doing all those things with the American Southwest. So congratulations on this film. Again, I will be shouting it to the world and promoting it to everybody I know. And links in the description, y'all. October 10th, digital release, Apple TV Prime Video. Go check it out. Shout out to my man Ben Masters. I know with your work you've done, again, this social responsibility in a way. Is there anything that you can highlight what your next project is? I know you're on the tour right now promoting this, but can we maybe also highlight your next project, Ben?
Borderlands Jaguar, be out January 14th. It's a 50-minute movie that dives into the history of jaguars in the United States, the potential for the species return, and how we need to leave sections of the border open for wildlife to pass back and forth.
Wow. So did that come as after filming this to make that a project?
Yeah, I filmed the jaguar scene, or we filmed the jaguar scene, Austin Alvarado, our camera trapper, but we spent, I don't know, 3 weeks or so down there. And then Austin kept going back for like the next 8 months, checking all the camera traps. So we ended up just taking some cameras and filming some characters we met along the way. We found this like old lion hunter that was the first person to ever actually photograph a live jaguar in the United States. And rather than shooting it, he like took a picture of it, and it kind of ignited all of this intrigue and mystery. And then in Mexico, we found a former jaguar hunter turned conservationist that's now with the Northern Jaguar Project, which is working with all these different ranches to bring back the jaguar. And it's working. Like, it's so cool. There's more and more jaguars popping up into the United States, and it could be this great rewilding success story. But at the same time, it's like running into the realities that the border wall, it's getting taller, it's filling in all of the holes. So right now we have this opportunity to say like, all right, we need to leave some sections of the border, naturally open and to, let wildlife cross. Like, we can achieve our immigration challenges in a way that doesn't require a, physical 30-foot high wall that forever halts the north to south flow of wildlife.
Yeah.
So the film, it dives into that, dives into jaguar, it dives into U.S. Mexico conservation efforts, and then it's kind of told through this ridiculously good-looking jaguar named Libélula and her kittens.
Oh, I love that. Hey, Ben, I appreciate you. You are one of those filmmakers. Again, I give all the love and props to my fellow documentarians out there that are doing that work. I couldn't do it, but it's that work that is so important. And so on behalf of myself and my family, this work puts eyes on things that are very important, that are going to benefit us all. So thank you, sir. I appreciate
it. Make sure to watch it with your kids. I don't know how old they are, but mine love it.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely watching this with the family. This is the stuff that is meant to watch with the family. I appreciate you, Ben. Thank you so much for your time. Everybody, check out my man Ben Masters, The American Southwest, premiering on October 10th, digital release on Apple TV Prime, all things. Check out this upcoming Borderlands Jaguar film. I know I'm going to be excited to check that out. Ben, thank you so much for your time. When you get promoting on that next project, please come back so I can give you some virtual flowers.
I love it. Appreciate it. Thanks
Appreciate you, Ben. There you go. That's Ben Masters, y'all. I'm Kuya P. Nerds rule the world. All right, there's a cut. Thank you, Ben.
nerds rule the world.
Pleasure chatting with you. Love to all my nerds who rule the world.
Nerds rule the world.
Yes, we do.
Thanks. Nerds rule the world. Thank you.
I love the nerds ruling the world, so more power to you.
Patrick, what up, man? And yes, they do. Nerds rule the world, kid.
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
saying? I'm one of
Thank
them.
you. Awesome. Kuya P, nerds rule the world. Hello.
Yes, they do.
Oh,
Nerds rule the world.
I got.
It's in the title of your show, like Nerds Rule the World. Like, I want more Black weirdos on screen, and I don't feel like we ever get to see that very much.
Thank you so much. Nerds
Appreciate
do
it.
rule the world.
Yes. Thank you.
They're nice to meet you. Nerds do rule the world.
We do. We're phenomenal, aren't we?
Thank you, Nerds Rule.
Love it.
Hello, Sarah. Hello, Julian.
Yes.
Rock on. I love it. Thank you so much.
It's good to see you. I love Nerds Rule the World.
But yeah, there's a heavy nerd component, man.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you ask me, nerds rule the world. So
Absolutely.
And you're right, nerds do rule the world.
We're just the best.
Yes. Nerds do rule the world. I agree.
We do.
I agree.
We're awesome, aren't we?
Thank you, ladies.
so much.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
And nerds really do rule the world.
Thank you, sir. It's your boy Kuya P. Nerds rule the world. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you.
do. They rule the world all right.
Yes. Take care, Tony. Thank you, guys.
Well, I was good until I saw that this is Nerds Rule the World. So are we talking about like everybody you interview is a nerd, right?
Oh, it's a legal requirement. It
It's
is.
a legal requirement. Or are you, or the second you popped on screen, I was like, wait, are you supposed to be the queen nerd then?
I hope so. My handle is Heather is a nerd, so I am a professional at least.
Okay. But then you enter that whole question of like, well, if you're calling yourself a nerd, are you really a nerd? A true nerd, would they call them? I don't know. I'm going to start going cross-eyed.
Going to psychoanalyze this a little bit.
Yeah.
Record. There we go. All right. I'm going to do a 3, 2, 1 for my edit. We're going to be coming off the trailer. It's going to be at the front end of the interview. I'll introduce myself, introduce you, and we'll talk about this production and how it's releasing on October 10th on Apple TV, Prime, and every other digital platform.
Sweet.
Awesome. All right, Ben, let's have some fun. Here we go. In a 1, 2, 3.